Okay, so without wasting your time, I'm gonna tell you one habit that I started doing 3 days ago that is gonna help me be more productive. It's gonna help you be more productive as well. And so what I'm doing is that for each hour of the day, I write down how motivated and driven I feel for working and just how much energy I have to work. And most of us probably know like how we feel throughout the day. And most of us have an energy drop from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. So like you already kind of know, but it's super great to have it backed up by actually writing it down every hour. So what I'm doing is that I set an alarm for every hour of the day, starting at like 11 a.m. and ending at 9 p.m. And so for those 10 hours, each hour I'm writing how I feel and how motivated I am for work. And how I write it down is that I rank it how I feel out of 10. So let's say at 2 p.m. I'm like 4 out of 10 for work, but at 7 p.m. I'm 7 out of 10 for work. And after doing this for 3 to 5 days, you're gonna have a pretty good idea of at which hours you are the most driven, most motivated to work, and which hours would be better for you to, let's say, not to work and prioritize something else. Because of course that we want to do work when it's the easiest for us and when we have the most energy. Because of course that when I'm gonna press record and I'll feel like shit, which by the way happened to me, like right before recording this video, I felt like shit because it's almost 3 p.m. and at 2 p.m. I have an energy drop. And so that whole recording was kind of shit. And bro, like I just realized this right now and I got super motivated to press record and tell you this, guys. And to give you a quick tip, of course that when at 2 p.m. you don't have much energy and you're after lunch, so your body is digesting a bunch of foods and protein, fats, whatever, of course that you won't feel as motivated and driven to work. So of course that the recording was kind of shit because I just didn't have energy. And doing this is gonna make you realize that at these periods of time, so let's say 1 to 3 p.m., I just have low energy. So it's gonna be way better for me to learn or do something like some shallow work, something easier. So you can prioritize doing the work when you're actually the best at it. So for me, that's in the morning before lunch and then in the evening from like 6 p.m. But if you just write down each hour of the day, how you feel, and yes, it's gonna distract you a bit, but if you just write down to your notes app how you feel based on like X out of 10, so you're like 7 out of 10 for work. And if you're gonna write that for like 3 to 5 days, you're gonna get a pretty good image of how motivated you are throughout the day and which hours are best for you to work. Because most of us don't want to work 12 hours per day. If you want to work for the entire day, then sure, like you don't have to do this. But if you want to be productive with your time and spend just like a couple of hours per day working, then a quick tip for you, then you can try right now, is to just set an alarm that, I don't know, like for me, I'm still figuring out how to wake up on time. So I wake up at around 9 a.m. and for the first 1 or 2 hours, I'm just not around my phone. So okay, set a time when you are around your phone. So for me, that's 11 a.m. At 11 a.m., a phone is in the same room as me. So I'm just gonna hear the alarm. And as soon as I'm gonna hear it, I'm gonna write down into my notes app the time and how I feel, X out of 10. So right now, how I feel for work. Right now, I feel 6 out of 10 for work. I'm gonna write that down. And I'm doing this for 10 hours, from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. Every hour, I have an alarm, which reminds me that I'm supposed to write down how I feel. That's what's gonna make you identify the hours where you are more prone to be productive and then it's easier for you to be productive. And hours where it's going to be way easier for you to do some of the simpler tasks, to watch some podcasts or learn, something like that, something that doesn't require much mental power. Do this for 3 to 5 days and then build a routine around that. That's what I'm gonna do, like, I don't know, in 2 days after I'm gonna have the results. And I'm gonna work not based on what ChatGPT tells me or what some gurus tells me, but based on how I feel. based on how I feel and how much energy I have throughout the day. Because everyone's circadian rhythm, everyone's body rhythm, body clock is a little bit different. It's gonna be different for you and for me. So that's why it's very important to try this experiment for a couple of days, to just track every hour of the day that you're awake, how you feel, how much motivated and driven you are for work, and then build a routine around that. By the way, if you want to book a free 1-hour call with me, it's literally fucking free. Just do that. It's first link in the description. I'm gonna get experience, you're gonna get my knowledge. We can talk about some quick productivity tips, like whatever you want. So bro, just do it. It's first link in the description. Like, we can talk about whatever you want. It's a win-win for both of us, okay? So take care, man.